Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a book haul. Woo! And this one's actually kind of just like a mishmash of a ton of books that there is a purpose to this video, but it's also just for me to unhaul all the books that I received over the summer that I didn't even get to open myself. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about some of the books that I received from publishers, and then also I'm going to be doing the first part of the video. We'll be showing you some of the textbooks that I'm reading for class, because I don't know about you, but I love seeing booktubers talk about the books that they're reading for school. I don't know why, that makes me just so happy. Maybe because I'm an English major and I just love talking about books and reading books. But yeah, so let's just get started into the video. Alright, so this year I'm going to be a senior, and for my second to last semester I'm taking an English course called Love and Madness in 19th century American literature. I believe that's what it's called. It's kind of a mouthful, so I forget every time. But this class is a lit course. It's one of the required ones. And even though I am a creative writing major and I'm required to take lit courses, which of course isn't my area of expertise, I don't read classic novels for fun. So it takes a little bit more understanding for me to read these books and to analyze them, but I'm up for a challenge, and also I'm a very open-minded reader and person, and I will absorb information like a sponge. So without further ado, here are some of the books that my professor told me to pick up, and by golly, we have a large pile. And I think that's what I love so much about English classes, is that the textbooks are literally just like trade books or books that you like novels, instead of buying those like $400 like chemistry textbooks. I mean all for the STEM majors, but like I don't think I could survive buying like a $300 textbook every semester. So the first book we have is The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. I have never heard of this book until recently, when I read an interview by my favorite author Min-Jin Lee, and she talked about how this is one of her favorite books of all time and it inspired her as a writer. So maybe Min-Jin Lee's onto something. Maybe I shouldn't be so like pessimistic about reading a classic book. But yeah, this cover is really intriguing, and I wasn't able to rent this one, so I actually just purchased it. Okay, so these next few books I'm gonna go by pretty quickly. We have The Sorrows of Young Werther by Joan Wolfgang von Goethe. This one looks cool. These are all Penguin classics. I love Penguin classics. A Connecticut Yankee at King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain. And then Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave by Frederick Douglass. And I might end up buying this one after I read it. Okay, and these next two books, yikes, I am so anxious to get to this, but it is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I've heard some things. I've heard some things about this book, and I've heard that it's kind of hard to get into, especially if you're not used to reading classic literature, but I'm excited to get to it only because, can you see that little poster back there? That poster is like a bucket list, a book bucket list where you can like scratch off books, and Moby Dick is on there, so if anything, I will be able to scratch that off my list. And then we have Great Short Works of Herman Melville. I think this is just like an accompanying novel to give us more context about the author. Then we have The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson, edited by Thomas H. Johnson. I love the cover of this, but this book is just, it's huge. But I believe they're poems, so yeah, they're poems, so like it's gonna be pretty easy to read. Then we have The House of the Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And then finally, for the book that I am most excited about, I'm not thinking properly, but Dracula by Bram Stoker. I'm excited about this only because it's a classic book that I've actually heard is like not good, because I don't want to say that most classic books are bad. I'm just not a classic book reader, but I've heard interesting things about this one, and it's also on my poster as well, so any chance to scratch off some books on my bucket list, I will take. Okay, and so the other English course that I'm taking is my capstone, which means that I am going to be writing something over the semester. It's my creative writing capstone. And for this class, my teacher did something really interesting. He asked us like what we were kind of interested in writing, and I said a memoir or like autofiction along the lines of Days of Distraction by Alexandra Chang. I really love that novel, but I kind of want it to be something that's like very choppy. I don't want to write so much prose. I just want to write like choppy like paragraphs of moments, of fleeting moments in time about my life, but also infuse some like fiction and made up stories in there. So he gave us personalized recommendations, and the book that he recommended is So Many Olympic Exertions by Annalise Chen. This one looks so interesting. It says blending elements of self-help, memoir, and sports writing. This is an experimental novel that resembles Notes to Self. So this one very much sounds like Days of Distraction by Alexandra Chang, which I already know I'm gonna love. So, and it's super short, but this is definitely the kind of thing that I'm interested in writing about. Very like memoir-y type autofiction, like half memoir, half fiction, but is very experimental. Like I love reading books that kind of like play with form and play with like sentence structure and syntax, and I am very excited to read this. Okay, so these next few books I have here were sent by publishers or I bought them. I'll say which ones that I bought. But the first book that I have here is Version 0 by David Yoon. I am actually very surprised that I got this because I have never received book mailings for like Nicola Yoon or David Yoon's books. But I believe this one is Penguin, it's Putnam, and it says their only chance to save the future is to reboot the present. So after like perusing the synopsis a little on Goodreads, I found out that it has to do with like hacker and tech, hacker people and tech, and then social media. So I really hope this book talks a lot about tracking and how social media is kind of used as a tool for that. And I just hope it explores that because I haven't read much tech in a novel, but this cover is also banging. So Penguin was kind enough to send me 3 books by Asian authors, and I believe they sent this to me during AAPI month, and I just didn't open it until now. But if, oh gosh, it just, ugh. So first one we have is Crying at H-mart, and the reason I'm so frustrated is because I bought a really expensive copy of this at an indie bookstore, and I mean, yay for supporting our indies, but also I was sent a free copy. But I'll probably be doing a giveaway of this because I know that this is a book that's like super talked about. It's everywhere. It's gotten a lot of praise in the past few months, I think over the summer as well. But I believe this one is a memoir of Michelle Zauner's life, she's also the lead singer and the songwriter of Japanese Breakfast, of the band Japanese Breakfast, and this is a memoir about losing her mother and forging her identity through grief and food, and it just sounds beautiful. It follows a Korean American woman, I mean Michelle herself. It's a memoir, and yeah, I've just been looking forward to reading this. I think I read a few pages once and I was just not in the mood for this type of book. It was quite sad in the beginning, so I'm hoping to pick this up again soon. The next book we have here is Speak, Okinawa by Elizabeth Miki Brina. Another one that I've had my eyes on. This cover is just stunning. Another one that I've had my eyes on, I believe this is a memoir as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is a memoir as well. And like with Crying in H-mart, I'm trying to get more into memoirs just because that's a genre that I don't read often, and I feel like if I don't explore the genre, I'll never know what I'm missing. And then the last book that they send me is Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. This one I don't believe is a memoir. I think it's just fiction. Let's see. It says a stunning debut novel about an immigrant Vietnamese family who settles in New Orleans. So I have also been seeing this one too, just kind of like in the interwebs and on the blogosphere and all of that. And I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I might just keep this till May though, so I can read it for AAPI month. Next, Sourcebooks Fire was kind enough to send me a Christmas in July mailing, and I did not know Christmas in July was a thing, but apparently it's a big thing. And I literally came home in August to unbox this, and I saw just like candy canes and like Christmas tree, and I was very confused. But these are 2 Christmas holiday books, and it is Blame It on the Mistletoe by Beth, Garrod, and then Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall, and I'm excited to have these on my list because I love reading holiday books during the holiday season. I think I'm gonna be doing a vlog soon, like obviously in like November, December, where I only read Christmassy holiday books during a week because I just love holiday cheer and it just makes me so happy. And I think it'd be interesting to read these kinds of books during that time of year because I know like I like in my personal opinion, I feel like it'd be weird to read these books in any other time other than the holiday season. So I feel like I need to save this. The next book I have here is Fault Lines by Emily Itami. I am super excited for this. All I know is that this takes place in Tokyo. It says, combining the incisive intimacy of Sally Rooney with the sharp wit of Helen Fielding, a compulsively readable and astonishing relatable debut novel about marriage, motherhood, love, self, and the vibrant city that is modern Tokyo. I'm really looking forward to reading more books that take place outside of the US. I just think I need to broaden my scope of reading, and I am excited to read this. Okay, so the next book I have is for an Instagram tour, and it is Allies edited by Shakirah, Bourne, and Dana Allison Levy. This is a book with like I think 17 YA authors talking about showing up, screwing up, and trying again, and how to be an ally or how to show up as an ally. I think this book is super important. I had not heard of this title prior to accepting the Bookstagram campaign, but I'm kind of excited that it is in the YA genre. I think that's something that's very prevalent, especially in conversations on the book community and on Bookstagram. So I am definitely intrigued by it and will be reading a few of these short stories. Ooh, I just flipped to a page and there's a story by Adiba Jaigirdar, who is the author of The Henna Wars, I think, and I forgot what that book was called, but anyway, I'm excited to read this. So the next book I got was in the May Unplugged book box, which is a book subscription, and I just opened it and I'm so excited. I can't believe that this was featured in my box and I didn't open it until now. It is The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan. I think you've probably heard about this. It was pretty big on BookTube when it released. I believe it released in May, and I'm super excited for this one. It's pitched as sci-fi, including elements of STEM, nature, science, the ocean, and yeah, it's sci-fi. I don't read much of sci-fi, and it features sisterhood, but it's kind of everything I want, and also it's by an Asian author, so I don't know how it could be bad. Okay, and lastly, I have 3 books that I purchased myself. I am actually very happy. These are the only books that I got myself. The first one is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. This one was actually given away for free at the bookstore that I work at. I have heard so much about this. I think this was super big on BookTube a few years ago, but this is just I think it's just like a little picture book or a little like tip book and like short stories and stuff of snippets about how to just be more in tune with your artistic and creative side, and it's 10 things nobody told you about being creative. Again, everyone has talked about this book and has like basically read it, and it says it has changed their life, so I want to read it too. Okay, and the next one is Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. This one, again, a book that's been on my list that I am finally glad that I acquired. I believe the bookstore was having a sale and I just jumped and knew that like this is the next book that I wanted to buy. Sad that it's not signed because the indie that I went to when it released had a signed copy, but anyway, this I'm excited to read. Jhumpa Lahiri, I read her work, some short stories, in my Asian American class, and I really enjoyed them, so she's kind of been an author that I've kept my eyes on, and she just so happened to have released this novel recently, so I'm excited to get to this. And finally, the last book in this haul is none other than The Mountains Sing by Nguyen, Phan, Mai, I believe. And this book, honestly, it was kind of like an impulse buy. I read the back and then it said on the synopsis, with the epic sweep of Min-Jin Lee's Pachinko, and I mean, we all know on this channel already that I'm obsessed with Pachinko, and I just read Min-Jin Lee's other book, which I'll be talking about soon on another video, but I'm obsessed with anything Min-Jin Lee, so all you need is to dangle the word Min-Jin Lee in front of me and I'll buy anything. But this is supposed to be a multi-generational tale of a Vietnamese family, and I love multi-generational tales. I think this also has aspects of like Ya Jessie's Homegoing. I love generational tales, books that like kind of lack a plot and are more of like a character study following a family over the years as they are like going through some hardships and but finding themselves and reconnecting. So I'm excited for this one. I think out of all the books I've hauled, this is the one that I want to read like now. But yeah, I will keep you updated on this. Oh my lord, look how sunny it is. But those are all the books that I recently hauled. I think I have such a great stack, and of course, most importantly, I have books to fill in my shelf. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps. Please comment any of the books that you've read in this haul or any books that you've hauled yourself this past month. And yeah, I hope to see you soon on some vlogs. I will see you on the next video. Bye.